I can hear you and I can see you. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you now. I can hear you, but you are breaking. But I'm sure it will get better. Can you hear me from your hand?
I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly.
I can hear you clearly now, and I can see you clearly.
Okay, thank goodness. This network, Kilode, who did we offend?
I hope you are not on 1G.
No, I'm not. But I'm not on 5G either.
Okay. All right. Apologies once again to our listeners.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So let's get this started, man. All right. Like I said, the last time I saw you, I remembered you had a car, Ambo Season 4, Amstel Motor Box Office, and you won right from school. So how did that happen? What led to that? So that somebody who also in school now could be gingered and learn from that experience.
Okay. For me, I would like to. I'm a bit happy that I'm having this conversation with you because you sort of like were part of my journey. You know, in school, you witnessed the things I went through at some point in time. Even though we were not, I wouldn't say we were particularly close when we were in school, but yeah. I knew you knew me, you saw the growth, and you rightly mentioned Amstel Malta Box Office. But with my own story, my story starts way before the Amstel Malta Box Office. I've always been involved with filmmaking, with television, with the arts long before even I got into Unilag. So I think I was one of the fortunate few who recognized early that practicing is a great way to learning also. So while I was in Unilag, I involved myself with a lot of productions, with a lot of TV productions, with a lot of stage productions. There was a point in time I was working with Shegun Adefila. I was with the Palace Players. We created another arm of Crown Troops that became the Palace Players that had myself, Shegun Ajayi, Wumi Dada, Kemi Richard, Wayne Damola. We're all part of that Palace Players, and it sort of like helped, improve skill, helped with training, and it really can't be overemphasized how practice gets you better. It can't be overemphasized. So I think all that experience and all that training I had came to play when I went for the contest for the reality TV show competition. And it's all that experience gathered that helped me win. So when I got into the show, it was a reality TV show for actors. And like I said, pretty much, it came a lot more, without intentionally sounding boastful. I do not mean to be boastful. I'm just saying it as it is. While I was in the show, while I was in the house, when I was faced with so many tasks, the task of, delivering certain characters, being in character, because we were assigned characters to stay in for the 21 days, there were certain things we were supposed to do. It came a lot more easier to me. Not like they were not difficult tasks, but it came a lot more easier to me because I had already had experience in school. I was opportune to be trained in the arts by some of the best. I had worked in Unilag, in the main auditorium, in the arts theater. I've done quite a number of productions, and I was already practicing in the field. So all that came to play and helped me with the show. And eventually I won, thankfully.
Amazing. Okay. In few words, what would you say was your selling point that won you that feat? Because I'm sure it was the contest. There were several other people there, and
oh yes. The audition, according to the start, then I had over 15,000. Wow. Was it 15 or 30,000? I can't remember the number. 15. I think it was over 15,000 people auditioned, and there was a lot of break. They did regional picks. then came to Lagos, top 20, and then there was top 10. 10 people entered the house. So selling points. Okay, there's so many factors to selling points, and I would like to touch on a broader perspective. Yeah, I realized something that a lot of theater students or theater practitioners tend to get wrong, especially with screen. And I'll break it down, dogs. I cannot overemphasize the need to hone your skills. I cannot overemphasize the need to be a skilled actor when you are in this field. It is very, very important. It is of utmost importance because beyond everything, your audience want to look at you and connect with your delivery. They want to connect with that character that you are serving to them. The casting director also wants to connect with you before they give you the job that, okay, yes, this person can deliver. The director wants to know that you are one who's flexible enough to play with you. You've got range. And the producer also. So, but with all this said, with skill, there is a common mistake that a lot of actors make. And when I mean actors, I'm not being gender specific. I mean both sexes. So yeah, it is the need to make your brand attractive enough. And a lot of people miss that key factors. And that is why you see some talent suffer. And then you see, I'm not taking jabs at anybody, and then you see people with less talent, they go further than people that are actually talented. So the need for, which is why, yes, it's more than just having talent. Talent is the basics. It's like baking a cake. It's like baking a wedding cake. The base of the cake, it's the sponge itself. That is the talent. But what makes that, and that is the talent, you have to give a lot of concentration. The sponge of the cake has to be sweet. You have to give it the right sugar, the right butter, and that is all your training, building yourself together. But now, what makes it attractive when you come to that wedding and you look, oh, wow, that is a beautiful cake. Or you go to that other wedding and you be like, yeah, that cake doesn't look so good. You understand? It's that butter icing they put on it and the skill with which it is used, the decorator uses. And that's what draws you to that cake and be like, I want to taste that cake. Yeah? So now, with regards to acting and what set me apart, I would say it's that butter on top of it. It's that need to package, to put yourself in a set, to make yourself desirable, to make yourself appealing to the larger audience. So talent is not enough. You have to have the skill. You have to have that so that when they put you at the end of the day with all that gloss around you, you are good, because it will be bad if you were to have a beautiful exterior. You have that wonderful looking gloss on the cake, and then you now take the cake, you take a slice of the cake, and then you taste it, and the cake is horrible. Do you understand? So it will be very unfortunate for you to be an actor and you see all that gloss. Oh my God, that's a beautiful lady, and fine girl, she fits the part, and this, and then when they tell you to act, you now be like, yeah. This one doesn't do anything. So it is always good to balance the equation. Some people do too much of the packaging, and they don't have a product to deliver. And some people lean heavily on talent, and they don't have that gloss about them that people can look at and say, okay, this person can sell a product. This person, when I put this person on this, it will go thus far. So it is very, very important. And I was fortunate enough with practice and the people I've encountered in life and productions that I've taken part to have that information. So when I got into that show, beyond just talent, I did my best, because you can only do your best. I did my best to make my own brand desirable to the larger audience and the organizers. And I guess it helped me. So yeah.
Great. Okay, in all of these, were there times that maybe you went for an audition and it didn't fly? And how were you?
Loads of times. Loads of times.
Loads
of times.
You don't mean it. They will tell you, you got no's. I thought it was just yes.
Newsflash. I won the fourth edition of the Amsterdam Motor Box Office here. So the first edition was won by Aziza Sadiq.
Okay.
She happens to be a very good friend of mine. So the second edition, because I had spoken to her and like, how did it go and all and everything. And she told me about it and everything. I was like, it will not be a bad platform to, try. So I went for the second audition. I got a no. I auditioned. I wasn't picked. I went for the third edition. In fact, I went with my best friend, Sheon Ajayi. You remember Sheon Ajayi?
I remember Sheon, yeah.
After the third edition, Sheon came third. He went very far. He came third. So Sheon was picked. I was not picked. Yes. So, and then I went for the fourth one and I won. So yeah, it happens. I've gotten plenty no's. Plenty no's.
But
even after Ambo, I have gotten no's. So it happens.
With your car.
Yes, so sometimes it goes beyond just skill. Sometimes it's just there's also the fit. You have to fit the role. The casting director has to, look at you and say you fit the role. And sometimes there's just someone who played it better than you, and that's a fact. That's a fact. There's just someone that you might actually even fit the role, but they call for a closed casting, and you have 5 actors that are very, very skilled vying for the role, and you are going up against the like of O.C. UKJ, Blossom Chukujeko, Frederick Leonard, all skilled actors. So different things are put into considerations and all, and there are just some certain roles that some people are just, way better than than the other person, and then you won't get the role. It doesn't mean you are bad at what you're doing, but at that time, someone else just did it better than you, or someone else just fit the role better than you, either body frame, facial structure, oratory prowess, enunciation, inflection, different things goes into consideration. So the fact that you didn't get that role doesn't mean another day you will not get a role. So you just have to keep, improving yourself, keep studying, keep, advancing yourself. Basically, it's a never with the arts, with acting. It's a never-ending learning process. The day you stop learning, I'm sorry, you're finished. It's a never-ending learning process. There's a new skill out there every day. There are certain limits that you actually don't know that you can push yourself to. That every day, if you keep trying, you'll be amazed at what you can do, or what you can give, or how deep you can go. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we want to be practical now. How do you grow? What do you do to grow your skill?
Okay.
First, you read books. What are the things? I want you to be specific now, so somebody listening can also leverage on that experience.
Okay. I watch a lot of performances. First things first. I watch a lot of performances. You cannot take away the power of seeing when it comes to performances. You can't. It's just amazing. And especially for an actor, I would say this is very personal. It's one of my do's, which is one of the reasons why my friends, they find it very weird. I actually enjoy going to the cinema alone. I don't like being disturbed. It's just me. Sometimes, of course, I have times where I go to the cinemas, I go to the movies with some of my friends. But if I go to the cinemas 10 times, you'll catch me alone 8. And I'm not joking. My friends will tell you that Wole is weird like that. If I go to the cinema 10 times, out of that 10, you catch me alone 8 times. And why is that? Because it helps me concentrate. It helps me focus on what I am here to do. Because unfortunately for us, you are in the trade.
Yeah.
An engineer does not go to a construction site to be entertained. A doctor does not go into the theater to be entertained.
Yeah.
A soldier does not go to war to be entertained. So for me, as an actor, yes, you should have that moment where you want to go and laugh and be happy with your friends and family in the movies, which is for me is the 2 out of the 10. The remaining 8 times, I am not going there to be entertained. I am going there to be focused, to watch Denzel do what he does, to read in between the lines. I am going there to see what a Meryl Streep has to offer. I'm going there to see what R&D wants to do. I'm going there to see what an Ivio Kujayi wants to do, what a Blossom, what a Freddie Plenner, what a Femi Branch, what Will Smith, what Viola Davis wants to do, what they bring to the table. And as I am watching, I am taking mental notes that, okay, they're doing this, they're doing that. This is what he did. When Denzel turned, made a complete 360 turn and looked at the villain of the project, and he did something with his eyes, to pass a particular message even without saying anything. And he turned his head before he said, boy, you gonna die. That kind of thing. What RMD did when he looks at Ramsey Noah and goes, my son, what are you doing? So I am focusing on those lines, how they are able to add inflections, how they are able to modulate their voices, how they use their body languages, all that. So I am not going there to go and look at, yay, RMD, oh boy, this guy, they kill him. That's not what I'm going there to do. I am there to learn because I am an actor. At this point, it is not a playground for me. You get? So that's one of the things I do. So I watch a lot of content. Comedy, drama, sci-fi, thriller, horror. I watch a lot of content. That's one. Secondly, even though this part I'm about to call is something I've become very lazy at of late, and I'm trying to pick up this COVID-19 period. I'm trying to use it to pick up. I've not picked up so well. Is reading. A lot of people do not understand the fact that as an actor, you need to read. You need to read. People do not get that part. It is amazing. They just feel, sitting and acting now, but you have to read.
You just read your script and that's all.
Yes, just read. No, you have to read. And see the amazing thing about reading literatures on acting and performances. You will be shocked at the things you would find. You will be amazed. You'll be amazed that there's so many beautiful informations embedded in books, acting techniques, several ways to go about certain things, how to, angle yourself, how to play for the camera, how to play for the opposite actor, how to use your expressions, how to use a wink, a smile. There are so many things there that, especially with the right books, you don't even. Another thing I tell people, if you have a problem with books, because a lot of people have problems with books, you can go online. You can go online, go on Google. Actors beginning, how to be a good actor. There are thousands of materials that will come out. 101 on acting. There's so many materials that will come out that you can save up, that you can save in your files, and then you just go. There are free books online, and then when you pick that interest by yourself, as you begin to grow your interest in reading, you find yourself buying books to improve your skill. So yes, you have to read. And then third, you have to try out things. This is the crazy part of our profession. You have to try out things. It goes beyond watching Denzel, watching R&D, watching Jokel Silva, watching Adesua, watching Kende Bankole, and then you read book, and then you be like, I'm ready to take on the world. No, it doesn't work that way. With everything you've seen, with what you've read, things you've acquired, you now have to put it into practice. You have to put it into practice. Get a mirror. Stay in your room. Do things. And see the thing about performing by yourself, you will tell yourself the truth.
Okay.
When you are alone and you watch Daniel's performance, or Kanayo's performance, or Ramsey Noah's performance, and then you want to replicate that and say, okay, this thing that William Benson did was very amazing, and then you've worked on your skill, you've read some things how to go about it. When you stand in front of the mirror and try to replicate it, or try to better it, or try to create your own version of that, and say you don't want to do it like that, you want to have a better version. When you do it, if the thing no sweet, you will tell yourself. You will know. In your mind, you will know that this is not good enough. Let me try again. You know what? This is not good enough. Let me push it. This is not good enough. So you have to practice. You have to practice. Someone saying something. The best part of going to the cinema alone gives you the opportunity to consume and concentrate on the minute details. Yes, I agree. Tunnel vision whilst soaking in fun attached to the experience. Okay. Drama and visuals are connected. You cannot take scene from the requirements needed to be better. Yeah, totally. I agree with you. I agree. So yeah, basically one of our followers is saying the same thing. Yeah. So you have to, because after watching, you can watch the entire content in the world. If you don't put it into practice, you will not. It's just like when Ronaldo or Messi, they were growing up and they kept watching Maradona and Pele, or they watched the likes of JJ and Co and everything. Yeah. If they didn't get every weekend, they didn't go to the pitch or go to their backyards to knock the ball to, try that thing, they won't be good. So it's basically the same with acting. After watching, after reading, after acquiring all this skill, after speaking to people, you have to practice. Which brings me down to another thing you have to do to improve your skills. You have to be willing to learn, ask questions. People who have been there before you, people who you've seen, them do it and do it at a certain level. If you ever come in contact with them, now in saying this, you have to be careful, because this has gotten people into trouble before. Yes, you should ask people, but yes, again, it is up to you to know when and where to go and ask somebody question. Mm-hmm. Because some people will just see you anywhere and just run up to you, hey, who's that? And by the time you don't get a good reception, you tag that person very rude, or this one is doing like what? We all started somewhere. No. You have to know the right time to approach somebody. You have to know the right place, the right function. You also have to be able to read their mood at the time. But once all this is set and you guys are going to be in a space where a proper conversation can be held, you ask questions. How did you do this? What did you do? Are there any books you can recommend? Are there any films you can recommend? What acting techniques do you use? Blah, blah, blah. All the questions. And no information is too small. No information, because the truth is, over the years I found out that different actors use different techniques, and some techniques are not even recorded. Yeah? Some actors will go by the books and tell you, and some actors are quite learned and they are trained, and they can break it down, and they can tell you, okay, this is what I'm working with, I'm doing this and that, I'm Belcher, and I belong to the Stanislavski school of thought, the method actor, this, that. They will go into all that because they are trained, they are opportune. While some genuinely just grew up on the field and they are masters of the art, and when they tell you, you just look as if this one is not saying anything coherent. But the truth is, there is a message and there's a lesson in every single dialogue you get with someone who has been there, who has been practicing for years, no matter how shallow you think that thing sounds. So always be willing to, empty your cup for it to be filled, to say, okay, this person has been here a couple years and has been doing this. How did they get here? What did they do? You find out that when you begin to take drops from everybody, before the end of the day, your cup will be full and you become your own master. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm sure those that are listening are gaining a lot from what you have said. Practice, no idea is too small to grow anybody, and reading, going to the cinema. All right, we'll bring this to a wrap shortly. This is where we end this. COVID-19 has changed everything. Everything. So, for you as an actor, what are your expectations? What do you see coming in this industry? And what have you been doing in this direction to change the game?
It is a very, what's the word? The COVID-19 thing is very, very
complex.
I don't even know if I want to go complex. It is so shocking. Like, sometimes I literally tell myself, this is actually happening. Like, we are not doing this in a movie. This is real. Like, it's happening. You understand? It's like, it's really baffling. So, Porsche JMK is waving. Yeah, waving right back at you. Thank you. Do you consider upcoming producers in terms of fees and charges? Well, it depends. It depends. That's a question for Daddy. Yes, I do. But let me answer this question first. So COVID-19, yes, it's literally has put the world on halt, and one of the things a lot of people found out is right now, if you ever doubted it that the future is online, is digital, COVID-19 just made it clear.
Just confirmed that.
It just confirmed it. If you ever had a doubt that the future is digital, that it's online, it's on the internet, COVID-19 just said, hey, writings on the wall, y'all. So we need to wake up. So with regards to your question, what I'm thinking, the things I'm planning, my strategy after the whole COVID-19 goes off is, what are the things I can do with my talent that can be placed online, that can be of service, and that can be of value digitally, so that if in future, God forbid, the economy is paralyzed as we have now, I can still have something going on the internet digitally. So that is the direction I am prepping towards and I'm working toward.
Fantastic. All right, for the industry, it used to be cinema. You mentioned cinema. And do you see a shift in platforms, cinema, movie production, since everything is going digital? So where do we go from here? If we don't
the truth is, the shift is already happening, but I won't call it a shift. Let me explain. Disney did an estimate that they are going to hit 50 million subscribers in 4 years. They have hit 50 million subscribers already. But I think they were about to a couple weeks ago. So a target of 4 years, they just hit it within months because of the COVID-19. Because everybody's home and they are subscribing and everybody wants content. Amazon is now worth 1.1 trillion or something funny. Yes, 1.1 trillion. Is it trillion or billion or something? 1 trillion, 1.1 trillion or something funny like that. The figures are ridiculous. Netflix is now worth more than Disney. So online is the future, like I said. So now with cinema, whether we like it or not, if COVID-19 gets sorted today and the world is at peace, when they open the cinema, you and I will not run to the cinemas immediately. Psychologically, there's still that thing in the head that will be like, what if one person still has it?
Or somebody comes.
Or somebody comes. Do you understand? So if the cinema market is going to be damaged for a while, we have to tell ourselves the truth. So it will take a while for it to pick up again. Now, I wouldn't say the cinemas would die completely. No, I think people will still patronize the cinema for culture's sake. There's a certain kind of fun or pleasure or satisfaction you get from watching a film in the cinema that cannot be replaced. Yeah. You cannot replace it with watching a movie on your phone or your laptop on your TV. That is why it is called the cinema experience. Watching a movie in the cinema is an experience. You are paying for the experience, not just the movie. So, but it's going to take a minute for that culture to get back into full gear. So while that is taking a while, what are you doing? What other platforms? So that is why it's looking like there's a shift online. So I won't call it a permanent shift because the truth is both medium, both platforms have been working side by side. We've always had the online platform. We've always had the media platform. In fact, some movies go to the cinema first, then they move on to online platforms. So they've always been working parallel. So what is happening now is one is now risky. One is now a risk, is now hazardous because of the crowd and the COVID virus that is going on. So everybody will naturally not want to endanger themselves and just, play safe and be online. But after a while, when everything, goes back to normal, people will still go to the cinemas. Once people can trust, the environment again, they'll still go to the cinemas. Yeah, so it will be fine eventually. Hopefully.
Yeah. You have said it all on your spoken well. Thank you, King Wole Ojo Baba.
Thank you very much. Sorry, someone said something. Atinuke Rollins says she's proud of me. Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you so much. Someone asked a question. He's saying, please answer my question. Fabvic Realtor. Okay, so his question is, do you consider upcoming producers in terms of fees and charges? Yes, I do, especially if the project being presented to me is what's the word now? Looks is promising.
Okay, that's prospect.
Upcoming, yes. Once it's promising, if he has prospects, why not? Because a lot of upcoming producers are very adventurous, which is good, but some are so adventurous they bite off more than they can chew. So, but if I am convinced that you have your house in order, your plans are in order, and I'm convinced that you can execute it, why not? A lot of people, of course, consider it.
Okay, Baba, this is how we call it a wrap. Thanks for coming through. I'm sure we've learned a lot from all you've said, and I'm sure those that are listening will go away from here. And if there's one thing you have emphasized is practice and practice and practice. And I'm sure very soon you'll be hearing from them that, I was part of that discourse and here am I today. Or maybe you find some of them on set sharing this. Amazing story. All right, Baba, thank you so much for coming through. Don't forget the bag of rice.
Sorry, I came late.
It's so sorry. Okay. No, don't leave sorry. The bag of rice.
The bag of rice. We work on it.
All right. So congratulations to your mom. Happy birthday to mom. The Lord will continue to uphold her. She will grow in strength, in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and on every side. We're going to call you again some other time, and I'm sure you oblige us.
No problem. Definitely.
Thank you, Baba. Have a wonderful night. Cheers.
You too. Thank you.
Yes. All right, people, thanks for hanging in there. I'm sure we learned a lot from King Wole Ojo today. By Friday, we'll be back by 4 o'clock. This is the first time we're having 7 p.m. event, and perhaps that's why we're having, but it's okay. I'm sure we've been able, I want to appreciate us for coming back and taking those points away from here. Till Friday, 4 p.m., we'll be having Alex Okechukwu, the man from Tinsel, will be coming forth to join us and we're also going to learn from his experience. Thank you for coming through. Have a wonderful night. Keep washing your hands, use your sanitizers, and wear your face masks. God bless you.